There's first gear. Here's reverse. And second gear. And then third gear. We got both falling off. That's pretty cool though. But it starts right up every time. Yes. Hey guys, what's up? All right. It's Double Deuce back. We got it together. We got it fired up, as you can see in the video there. Going through the gears on it. I ran across a couple of weird things on here I wanted to let everybody know about. One was the front arm there. These two arms, your steering arm and your panhard arm, are in the kit and they don't say which one's what. So I put the short one in the steering arm because it seemed to be, I don't know, it's still too short. I like my servos kind of straight, but I put that there. I put the long one down here, but I tried to put the short one down here and it moved the rear end like way over this way, too far. But here's the problem. It's going to have crazy bump steer. Watch this when I compress the suspension. See how it turns? That's like, can you see the wheels turning there? Watch. So be prepared for that when you jump it. My thoughts is up inside here. Let me get a zoom in on this here for you guys. Okay. My thoughts are, like, this needs raised up a little bit, and this up here where it mounts to the frame needs brought down a little bit. So, but the problem is you don't have that much room where it hits the top of the rear end. So maybe by raising that one up and that one down, it'll level it off a little bit and not give it bump steer. But that, and over here on the I got a hell of a mess going here. Here on the carburetor, let me zoom in on the carb here for you. The this bracket here, the bracket for the body mount and the shock tower hit the small little throttle thing there. So when you go to try to get a better view on this for everybody, these are really tight in here. I actually had to like bend this out, you know, bend my shock tower out just a little bit so it wouldn't hit that, because this is a spring. I've never seen anything like this. This is like a spring thing here. So when you open the throttle up, it stretches it, and then when you come back for the brake, it lets it bend down. You know, I don't know. I don't know why they, because on this one back here, as you see, I have a Traxxas apparatus on my brake there, for the simple fact that the other one they had, and where I had to put my servo, because you see these servos are just hacked in here because I didn't get no servos with mine, and the only servos I had were a bunch of leftovers from kits, because I had a bag of 10 brand new servos that were this, the bigger ones. They weren't the micros. I got micros coming, but all 10 of those servos were no good, and I bought them, I don't know, about 6 months ago, and I never checked them. I probably should have checked them. Like, they were just terrible, and it's just, I have one in the front here, and you can see it jerking back and forth. When it's running, it's jerking back and forth and everything, and it's a nightmare. So now I got to get a good steering servo for it, because these here are just stuff I had robbed out of like an HGP 407 I had and some other stuff. But and I'm trying to think if there was any other things that were a little sketch. One was, when you do put these on, these shock towers here, make sure you put the one on the front here with a little divot in it. And when you put your center cross member in underneath, it can go either way, but it has to go so the holes are at the very back for the gearbox to set in, because if not, it'll be too far forward, and you won't be able to get your engine mounted up to it. So, but I had to come up with just my own servo rods, because none of them other ones they had, of course, they're not going to fit with the big, the bigger servos in the thing. So another thing I noticed too was these wheel hubs here are not plastic. I thought they were plastic. They're all metal. They're all CNC machined, all these, which is kind of cool. But other than that, if I didn't have 30 inches of snow outside here and drifts and everything else, I would have taken it out today or tomorrow and run the thing. But we'll see what happens. But I think it looks like first and reverse are kind of low, so it's going to crawl around a little bit. Third gear looks like it's got some speed in it. If you want to rewind the video there and see the third gear where it's flying, just before I had a bolt drop out of this thing, and I don't know if it was just hung up, stuck in the frame or something. I looked this thing over. I went through all the directions and everything, because it's just a 2mm screw, and I could not find anywhere where there was anything missing. So it must have been stuck to maybe some of the servo tape or something I had on there. Another thing here, this here was for the fuel thing, was at the back, and I moved it to the front because it's threaded all the way through. As you can see now, the line is consistent now. When it was back here, it kinked. It would kink when you put it in there. So when you went to put fuel in the thing, it would just blast back out all over you. So I moved that bracket to the front to stretch the line out. I could have just shortened this, I guess, but and inside here in the end, they don't give you a plug. At least I didn't get a plug with mine, because it's just an open hole. And so I just took a piece of rubber tubing and stuck a 4mm screw in the thing just to plug it off, so I don't have my nitro evaporating out of my fuel in the sunlight, or having the stuff spill all over the place. I had a little header leak here. I had to use both gaskets because I think the screws that hold the headers on the block are just a hair too long. So I had to use, they gave me 2 sets of header gaskets in there, and I ended up taking it apart and putting both of them in it. And this here is, I'm kind of wondering about this pipe. This pipe extends a long way out here, and I think it's going to be a lot of metal fatigue there after a while running this thing with nothing supporting it. Like something off the frame with, to kind of hold it in place, because I think the vibration is going to, end up breaking it off up here where it mounts to the engine. Because these things get some crazy vibration at high RPMs, But other than that, I'm tickled with the kit. I mean, so far so good. Like I say, my other servos are coming. I don't even know, after I put all these in there, I don't even want to know if I want to change it back. But I don't have my front diff hooked up yet. I did tear that apart in the front. There is a little spring, you know, an apparatus on the side that locks the thing in. And there's spring tension on that. And so that, I don't know how well the micro servo was going to hold up to that, but we'll check it. The diffs were greased in the thing. They were greased, so you don't have to worry about tearing them apart. They use massive amounts of Loctite on these cover bolts, and you know, I had to get them off with pliers. I'll put it that way, or vice grips to get in there. But other than that, it's pretty much ready for a maiden voyage, and we'll see how, you know, I think the springs are a little off on the thing. I mean, I think they're a little too heavy in the back, but the shocks kind of stick. You know, they when you go to push it down, that panhard bar seems to put resistance on this shock over here, you know. So I don't know, maybe it'll break itself in when you get it out there. But it's not that heavy. It's not as heavy as I thought it was going to be. So, you know, it weighs comparable to an 8 scale, you know, nitro truck, you know. So, but other than that, the clutch seemed to work fine. It shifted okay. Like I say, I haven't had it on the ground to check the shifting to see if it pops out of gear or not, but we'll figure that out. And then I'll carry on with my lock-in front diff and go around and recheck some things, so before I take it out. But anyway, I just thought you guys wanted an update on it. So far so good. I love the kit, I really do. You know, even, you know, like I say, no kit's perfect. You know, there are some quirky things that went on. This thing started as soon as it got feel to it. So apparently the 3 1/4 turns on the top and the 7 1/4 out from, you know, dead stop out on the bottom is where they were set to start it. So I'm going to probably lean out the idle a little bit, and the thing you probably heard in the video there just before I shut it off, it wasn't idle, you know, it was idling low, so it was kind of drowned in itself. So the problem is getting the screwdriver up underneath there, you know, to get to it. I don't know why they didn't turn it sideways. You know, it would have been so much easier just to turn the carburetor this way. So your high-end needles here, your low-end needles there, and but who knows? We'll go from here, and we're gonna build it. We just bought them. But anyways, guys, like, share, subscribe if you want. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll get to answering some questions because I'm way behind. And I'll catch up with you guys next time. Later.